Hello and welcome to the Truth About Storytelling. This is Tyreen Martinson, and I'm just going to do my weekly check in today. So, one of the things I need to talk about is what happened last week because I had this plan to upload 5 videos, one each day, and I think I uploaded 2. So, part of what happened is I had a couple of upload fails. Like one day I actually thought a video had uploaded, and because I record a lot of these on my phone, and I'm not saying that's the perfect thing to do, but I record a lot of them on my phone, and my phone kept telling me it was running out of room, I deleted the video thinking that I had set it to upload, but then the upload failed, and then I was out of video. So that was bad. And then I had another day that I thought I had created a video, and then anyway, it was just a messy week, and I kind of hit a wall creatively with creating videos. So I just stopped and thought, okay, I need to reassess this. It's been almost a whole month with January. It's time to reassess my goals, reassess my plan for this YouTube series. And I decided that I probably need to be a little more realistic and go with videos 3 days a week, maybe 2 to 3 days a week. So Mondays, Wednesdays, and sometimes Fridays. That's my goal for February. And I hope that it works out because I am enjoying this. It's really nice. I'm thankful for the few people who have interacted and the messages I've gotten from a few people. So thank you for joining me. I have a really tiny audience and I hope we grow, but it's okay if we don't. I know that I'm experimenting and learning, and so if I don't have a big audience for this part, it's okay with me. So thank you for hanging out if you are. So my overall goal with this YouTube series is to experiment and to learn and to discover if this is the right channel for me as an author. So I am succeeding at that goal because I am definitely learning. I'm definitely experimenting. I've definitely had some failures, but that's part of the learning process. And I have discovered I do enjoy it part of the time. So I know that I can't do 5 days a week. I figured that out. And so now the next thing to do is to, again, reassess, make a new schedule, and try again. So that's going to be 3 days a week for February. I don't want to throw everything out that I worked on just because I experienced some failure. That doesn't make any sense. I want to keep learning and growing as a person and as a creator. So here I am. I'm just going to take what I learned and run with it. So this is the week that we transition from January to February. And I thought it was a good time to really do a monthly check-in with all of my goals. I don't want to spend hours and hours at it because I don't have that kind of time, but I do have a checklist that I'm working through this week to see, okay, what worked, what didn't, how do I want to shift things to really fit with my overall goals. My words for the year for myself were courage. This is partly about that. I'm having courage to create these videos, and resolve not to be ignored. So again, hey, these videos work for that. I'm definitely resolved not to be ignored. That's why I'm doing this. And so I am meeting those big overall goals. I do have some fun goals I created, my achievable goals for 2024. I made this long list that was just, I did a video on earlier this month, and those were, to me, they were fun, mostly fun goals. And I'm checking in with those this week. I'm also checking in with my more serious goals about writing. And I had a conversation with someone last week who asked me if I was following the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule is spending 80% of the time at your work or the activity that you do, 80% of that time being filled with joy and purpose, and 20% being, just the stuff you have to get done, like the paperwork and the other parts that you don't really love to do, but you got to get it done to make the writing business or the creativity part of your life work. Or at least for me, that's how it is. So I want this writing business to succeed, right? And the 80-20 rule basically states that if you spend 80% of your time really feeling filled with joy and purpose at the work you're doing, you're more likely to succeed. And it's kind of a sweet spot, doing 80% of what fills you with joy and purpose and 20% of, the kind of the stuff that feels like drudgery, whatever that is for you as a creator. So I know people who actually really love to do finances. I know someone who's an accountant, and I'm sure that for her, maybe numbers are the fun part. For me, that's not the fun part. It's stuff that I have to do, right? I do like seeing how much I earn. That's kind of nice, but I don't really love doing the what I call the paperwork process part of business. But I do it because it's part of having my own writing business and having my own creative life. So I know it has to be done. So that's part of that 20%. And I've been really thinking about what I enjoy doing with my writing, and I'm kind of transitioning and reconfiguring my goals based on that. And I think it's healthy to reassess where we're at and healthy to consider new ideas, like that friend of mine saying, "Hey, are you following the 80/20 rule? Are you enjoying 80% of what you write?" And sadly, I have not been enjoying 80% of what I've been writing. I have been really struggling with a couple of projects, and they are ones that I feel like I should finish, and I do want to finish them just to have them finished, but I haven't been enjoying them. So, how do I handle that? What do I do with it? I decided to table them creatively and push pause on them until March, and at least two of the projects I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention their titles at this moment, but anyway, so I'm pushing pause on two projects until March, and then I am doing other specific projects. So this for February, I've decided my priorities for my writing are to work on a low content book that I intend to release for St. Patrick's Day. It's a low content book about writing prompts with a nod towards Irish folk tales and legends. I've just been having fun researching it, and I thought, this would be great to put together in a book that other people could also enjoy and maybe get something out of. So I'll see how it goes. I again, as long as I'm enjoying it, I'm just going to keep working at it and really see how much I can get done. It just kind of took off on me the other day, so I'm gonna chase it down, and I'm gonna explore a newish idea that I've had that I've kind of explored for a day or two at a time before. I've decided I'm going to dedicate this month to fully exploring this very different genre that don't normally write. It's technically, I don't know if I'd call it like an archaeological thriller or a espionage thriller or espionage with archaeology with a little bit of infrastructure type stuff and environmentalism. It's got a lot of different pieces to it, and but I just really want to play with the idea. I keep writing little bits of it and writing little bits of it, and I'm like, I want to take February and just dig into this and create notes and build the world and have fun with the idea. And it's so different than what I normally write, because I normally write fantasy and sci-fi, and I mean for it to be set in the contemporary world. And I'm like, what does that mean? Am I going to add a supernatural element to it? Again, I'm just really in the idea process, but I enjoy the idea process. So I'm going to pursue that in February. I'm going to pursue that joy. And in addition to that, I'm going to continue working on my New Testament serialization on Kindle Vella. I know that not everybody who follows this channel may believe in God, and that's okay. I love God, and I'm thankful that God has given me that love for my faith, for Him, and I am going to continue to write with that in mind, whether it's way in the background or it's out front. The New Testament study that I'm doing on the Kindle Vella it's literally just me walking through and taking notes on what I'm reading each day for my Bible study this year. So it's meant to be invitational for readers who might want to join along. And I don't know if it's going to go anywhere other than just out there on Kindle Vella. And I don't know if very many people will read it, and that's okay. I'm enjoying it. I feel purposeful in it. I feel like it's something I'm called to do this year. So that's why that's happening. Um, the fourth thing I'm working on is I'm continuing to work on the nuances of an audio version of Champion in the Darkness, and I am using an AI narrator. I know that a lot of people feel uncomfortable with AI narration. It is not something that I decided to pursue lightly. I read up on it, I listened to podcasts on it, I really thought about it, I wrote pro con lists. The reality is that I used an inexpensive option for one of my books to be audio narrated, and I only sold one copy of that live actress narrated audiobook. And I don't know, maybe I didn't market it well. Maybe it didn't fly for whatever reason. Maybe it's the wrong timing. I don't know. But even an inexpensive narrator is too expensive if I can't sell more than one copy. So I'm trying this AI narration for my first book, and if it goes well, it's great. If it bombs, it's okay. It's an experiment. And I am not spending a ton of money on it, and that's kind of important to me right now. I need to be financially solvent as a writer, and so that's why I'm pursuing that. And it's not meant to hurt people who are amazing voice actors. I know that there are people who are amazing voice actors out there. I can't afford them, and I can't afford to have another narrated book just bomb that badly. At this point, maybe at some point I'll be able to have something that's professionally narrated and have it be amazing. I would love that. But right now, I am using AI because that's just what financially works for me for the audiobook of Champion in the Darkness. So the last thing I'm really focused on this month is revision on a fantasy romance I wrote under a different pen name for Kindle Vella, and I intend to turn it into an ebook, paperback, and audio this year. I intended to get a little further towards that process, and it is definitely the fifth thing on my specific goals for the month type list. So it will probably be the thing I work on last each week, but I am continuing to push forward on that, and sometimes I'm enjoying it and sometimes I'm not. So I'm really kind of thinking about the 80-20 rule and how it's affecting my work, and if I can really push into the joy and purpose of writing to discover what really works for me creatively and what I hope will work for audiences who read my work. Because I do want to serve readers. I do want to entertain. I want to encourage, and I want to empower readers to live their best lives, to defeat any monsters that they have in their lives, to overcome their hardships, to climb their mountains, or run through the fields of their joy. I really want readers to feel encouraged and entertained and empowered when they read my work. And so I also need to have that feeling when I'm working on my work. And I need to think about what that means for me as a writer. I love fantasy and science fiction, but I also really like thrillers. And I like thrillers with like supernatural kind of elements, like the Indiana Jones movies, where there's always some sort of like, what is this wild thing that happened? You know, you've got the Ark, you've got the Dial of Destiny, these different things that seem to have some paranormal, supernatural type property to them, and yet overall, those movies are really historical fiction, but they're historical fiction with this added twist. And so, I don't know, maybe that's something I could write. I don't know yet. Again, I'm definitely in the exploration part for that, and I'm excited about spending February exploring the ideas I have for that project. So I don't know about you, but I definitely had a learning curve in January, and I hope that if you're like me and you've had a learning curve too, I hope that you have a well of confidence in you, and I hope that you can pick up what you've learned and run forward with it. Find your joy. Find what gives you great joy and purpose and just a way to move forward with your writing business so that you can have joy and purpose and success. I think that's what we're all looking for, and I would hope that you have that too. So please drop your goals in the comments if you'd like to share them. I'll be sharing one of my links for my main link page. So if you want to get to know me more via socials, or you want to read some of my work, you are more than welcome to do that. And I will see you around in the next video. So thank you for joining me. This is Tyreen Martinson. I really can't pronounce my own name. And this is The Truth About Storytelling. Thank you.